Well, this can be pretty hard to do, but I always wanted to do it, I guess. I'll just have to play along with me a bit. I'm really grateful for the amount of people who've given me so much support. It's been great. You know, who wants to listen to me talk? I don't know. Anyway, I've had over 1,000 views on those videos, so, somebody has. Oh, Joe, God, I miss you so much. I really do. 5 months and counting or more. Anyway, it's been tough. Joe just doesn't want me to swear. She doesn't like swearing. Doesn't want me to swear, and I try really hard not to. I don't. There's a funny thing about being true to yourself. It's really weird. You look at Romeo Georges. Romeo Georges swears. He does these videos and he swears, and a lot of people like him. Some people think he's disgusting. But he's part of the body, I guess. The hand's no different to the foot. They just look different, but they've got their own roles. The eye, the ear, they're all part of the body. But they all, serve their own purpose. And there's this girl doing videos. I think she's trying to emulate him, but it's not coming off. She's getting views and everything else, but just sounds stupid. She's not a female Romeo Georges. It's not original. And I'm just me, and I guess I have an issue with self-worth. Always have. But it goes back to my childhood, as I've explained. Because I was brought up to hate myself. Brought up to dislike myself. As I said, I'm looking at the camera here now doing this video, and I don't like what I see. Some wrinkled, grey-haired, fucking whatever. Anyway, I don't like my voice, don't like anything. It's all a matter to do with self-worth. And it all starts at an early age, and I'm telling you, that shit gets ingrained in you. And it's like you need laser surgery to get it off like a tattoo, It's fucking hard to get that shit out of you. It really is. And I can't be anybody but me. I try to be somebody else, and suddenly I'm nobody. I'm not myself. It's just not right. No, I don't want to swear and upset people and offend people, but that's how it goes. I've done videos and I didn't swear, and let me tell you. You don't no idea how many times I had to redo them because I swore. I didn't want to. Oh, God. But I just was, I had a lot of questions. I had a couple of questions sent to me. Well, a lady wrote to me, right? I'll be honest. And she did this thing about, we knew your mother. It's easy for you to make crap about her and say stuff. She's dead, she can't defend herself, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing these videos? Why do you think I'm doing it? I've had guys write to me and say, really appreciate your honesty and your rawness and your openness and your freshness and everything else. And, I've had issues and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, if it touches one life, great. Would 1,000 people watch it? That's okay. I'm happy with that. I don't know what the fuck you want to watch them for, but there you go. But to be ingrained and have it permeate you, that you're useless and worthless, Fuck. That woman. Outstanding member of the fucking community. I'll tell you a story. Just to get a bit of an idea that this woman that this lady seems to think was an upstanding member of the community was an absolute fucking cow. My dad lived right out in the bush. There was a lake right on the edge of Lake Walliga Lake on the far south coast, New South Wales, Australia, Bermuda. And Dad built this pontoon out of 44-gallon drums and planks, and it was pretty, state-of-the-art contraption in the day. And he had big chains going down to bloody big Besser blocks or something on the bottom, so it couldn't move. There was no in and out tidal thing really. And there was a few kids lived in the area. There wasn't many of us. We'd all go and play on this pontoon over summer in particular. And summer, Mum didn't give a fuck about us because, It was summer, we weren't at school. She couldn't beat the shit out of me because all my relatives had come down. A moment of respite. 6 weeks of fucking respite. Man. It's funny how everything is so, it's so vivid in your head. That's weird. We used to have these toasters. You used to have to plug one end in the toaster and one in the wall. And they had this, it was called a flex cord, wrapped with 50,000 miles of bloody cotton, woven cotton. And she'd lock the doors of the house and double that thing over. And she'd just beat me. She'd beat me and beat me and beat me until she was spent. She had froth come out the side of her mouth. See, I could see her sitting up against the back door, the homemade apron on, froth come out of her mouth. She just couldn't move, breathing like heavy. I'd have welts, big, ugly welts, horseshoe-shaped shit things. I'd have them on my back, my arms, my leg, my face, my stomach, everywhere. Sometimes I wouldn't even go to school for a week. And I love school. Top of the class. If I got 99% in an exam, I didn't want to go home. I would think I'd failed, Never a fucking moment of love, never a moment of fucking praise, nothing. And she beat the shit out of me. Years later, I had a school teacher, old school teacher, said to me, we knew things weren't real good at your home, but people never said anything. Stayed out of everybody's business, little house full of fucking fairies. Everybody stayed, John boy. Fuck that. But we used to have this boat, a rowboat, and we'd row out to the pontoon and park it and swim, and then we'd row back in. And anyway, on this particular day, I don't know how it happened, but all the kids were out in the pontoon, and I've got a funny feeling it was deliberate. My mother, fucking things, said to me, look, I'll row you out to the pontoon. I'm like, well, cool. So I get in the back of the boat and we start rowing out to the pontoon, except she's going diagonally away from it down the lake. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know. I don't think the same thing. I would have been, I'd have to guess, maybe 6 years old. Yeah. Anyway, the pontoon was about 50, 80 metres out off the end of the jetty, and she rowed another 50, 80 metres down that way. And she said to me, stand up. And I stood up, and she goes, turn around. So I turned around, and she threw me out of the boat, threw me out, and sat down and started rowing. And I came up spluttering and everything. I couldn't swim. I could do a bit of dog paddle and shit. We didn't have swimming clubs in those days. And she rowed back toward the jetty. Now, it's probably equidistant from me to the... You're a kid. I start following the boat. But I don't know how to swim. I'm. She ties the bloody thing up, walks up the jetty, up and all the way up to the house. Well, I don't know how many fucking days it took me to get to shore. I don't know. Swallowed half the fucking lake. And I get up, I'm crying, and I'm distraught. And I walk up the side of the house. And on the back of the house, we had a 3-sided glass room, glass windows, 3 sides. Those stupid fucking birds would fly to one side, seeing the bush, and the other side, trying to get out the other side. Bang, killing themselves against the glass. It was like a meteor shower. Killed half the bloody wildlife around there, but anyway. And she was sitting at the table with a sewing machine. It's playing in my head like a video while I'm doing this. And so I come up the side of the house, and I'm distraught. And she looks up, and she goes, oh, you made it. I just wanted to know that if, you're down there, you didn't drown. And I'm like, what kind of fucking idiocy is it? What? You throw me in the lake and take a risk of me drowning to see if I could fucking swim or drown. And so what, you're going to sit here? What if I didn't come up the side of the house? What you're going to go check? No, that's okay. You'll be right. But that pontoon, I used to go down there, particularly over summer, Dad would go prawning, and I'd often go prawning, but on the days or nights that I didn't, I'd sneak down there, get in the boat, row out. And I used to lie in that pontoon, just lay there, You'd hear the insects, and it's like something out of an American movie. And I'd look at the heavens, because it was pitch black, there was no lights around, and there's no houses. And I'd just watch the heavens wheel overhead, And I like to think that even at that age, I had some kind of consciousness. I was looking at something bigger than me. I didn't understand it at all, but, years later I met this girl, and I met hundreds of it anyway. And all I wanted to do was get her into bed. That's all I wanted to do. And I think part of the premises of me being able to do that was I had to go to church with this little Anglican church here at Narooma. And I elected to go Easter Sunday, 1985. And I got in there and it's packed. I mean, I didn't think that many people went to church, but what do you call it? Church of England, Christmas, Easter. So this was Easter. So 120 or whatever in there, and we're sitting in the family pew. And I'll never forget, the minister told me years later, we became pretty good friends, really. And he said, you know what a pew is? I said, no. He said, it's somewhere, if you sit long enough, you stink. Pew, Anyway, dad joke. But this guy was like 6'40", and he had the robes on, and he had these fucking Marna Muscuri glasses, And he stood up in the lectern there, and he had sheafs of notes because he, theologically trained, and he was just standing there, and everyone's shuffling around. He's not saying anything, and people are, looking at their watches. Got to go to golf. What are you doing? And he just sat down on the steps, and he said, "I can't do this." He said, "I've been doing this for years, and I've got a trapped audience." And he said, "I can't do this. Can't do it." And people are really uncomfortable. And he just started talking. And he started talking, just talking about his life, like I'm kind of doing in a way. And he's talking, and I just wanted to clap. I was like, I was enthralled with what he was saying, seriously enthralled. I'm looking around, people are fucking, oh God, no, he goes fucking Eric again. You're going to shut the fuck up, Eric. Anyway, at the end of the service, I went to go out the door, and because what happens is the minister stands at the door, and he shakes hands with everybody as they go out the door, and all the people who are self-righteous and full of their fucking pious bias, they shake the hand of the minister. Well, they want to do this. That's what they put their $1.50 in a fucking plate for. So they're standing there waiting for him. He's not there. I can't get out the damn door. I circle back, and he's looking across the room. There's a door goes into his office, and he towers above everybody, and he puts his finger out, and he goes, where is he? He goes, he straight at me. And I just went straight across I didn't even know what he was doing. I had no idea. And I just went straight across, because he turned around and walked straight into his office. So then held the door, and I walked in. I didn't know why I was even in there. And he said, sit down, and I did. And he pulled a chair right up to me, and he said, there's something you need to tell me. And I just burst into tears out of nowhere. Fell on the floor, and I wept like I'd never wept. I wept and wept and wept and wept and wept. And the only reason he left in the end because he had another service he had to do. He said to me, like he said, stay as long as you want. And so that little moment in time, that 5 minutes in my miserable fucking life, I met that power just for that 5 minutes there. I can never, ever, ever, and will never, ever deny it, no matter how crap I've been at it and how shit a supposed Christian I have been, and I've been rubbish, just pathetic, really. And no matter how crap I've been at it, that 5 minutes always brings me back, centres me, just that 5 minutes. I went on to all sorts of things. It was the biggest church in bloody Queensland, and became an elder and did fucking theological studies and ran a home church, and the whole thing was rubbish. It was fake, because my marriage was rubbish. People say to me, you ever been married? And I go, no, but I had a wife for 12 years. And it's kind of like that. I was shit to her. She was shit to me. We were shit together. We had 2 awesome kids, 2 amazing kids. And that's it. The rest of it was fucking rubbish. It was like, I didn't know, there's no fucking manuals. You go, well, what do I do? No, what do we do today? There's nothing. It's no P plates, L plates. No, just balls in. Away you go. God. The hardest thing in the world, relationships, especially when you're broken. You're like a jigsaw puzzle with 50 fucking pieces missing. What a mess I was. So that's what I took into my marriage, that whole shit life. And I can never, ever forgive myself for it. I can never say I'm sorry enough to her. And I've even gone into a new relationship, several, but into this new one. I've been in for 12, 13 years now with Jo, who's awesome. And the shit that I've done to her to try to to try to destroy that relationship, to try to, you know, sabotage it because of this stupid unworthiness. So I'm telling you, I'm 63 and I'm still getting over this shit. People go, well, you should have your shit together by now. Well, really? Fucking you? No, you haven't, mate. You just hide it better than me. I've hidden it. Got my shit together. What a mess. What a fucking mess. So if you feel unworthy, like me, you've got to do something about it. You really do. Particularly guys who are stupidly hiding this crap. Like they're so fucking tough. You're weak as piss. You need to do something about it. You really do. You know? Don't be embarrassed. You know? Embarrassment's not going to change you and help you grow and be a better person. It's not. Don't sit around smugly thinking you got your shit together. Because let me tell you, everyone's got holes in them like fucking Swiss cheese. You know? So that's my challenge. You know? This has all gone to hell in a handbasket here now. It's rubbish what's going on. And we're heading into the bleakest of fucking times. I don't give a fuck how stupid you think I am. We are. And if you don't do something about it now, if you don't change yourself and get your shit together a bit and start looking at it and, you know, figuring out that everything's not what you think it is. You've been living in some fucking matrix and it's just all fallen apart at the seams and you are blissfully unaware of it all. If you think that's just some stupid talk, good for you. Good for you. When they come for you and your kids, when the lies are revealed and the fucking earth shatters, then let's see how you feel about things then. I probably won't be prepared, but I'll be more bloody prepared than you'll be. So you need to get your shit up. You know, like those Maori guys in that video said today, man up, mate, man up. Because if you don't, we can't beat this shit. Fuck, I wish I was 30. I really do. Anyway, I thank you all. I love you all. You've been fantastic. I wish I could have some great information to give you, you know, and not be so fucking stupid and dreary. But somebody likes it, and somebody wants to watch it, and somebody's interested, so, you know. And I just know we'll win. In the end, we'll win. We'll beat this crap. I know it. But boy, the dread in my stomach. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope someone gets something out of it, and in the end, we will win. I promise you we'll win.